Okay, so what determines how do I earn these points? Maximum of 1300 every day in my case. Firstly, there is activity. They call this vitality, and there are all these different activities that you can do. And my understanding is you want to make sure that your heart rate, I think it's your heart rate, should be above a certain intermediate figure. I think it's like 100 beats per minute. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. And look, there are really a lot of activities that you can do. So if you start an activity, my most common ones are walking and meme trading. I'll talk about that shortly, but walking, I do 10,000 steps every day. There's a reward for doing 10,000 steps. I'll go into that later as well. But then if I'm sitting at my desk and I'm doing, a lot of hard thinking as part of my day job, I'll actually use the meme trading activity. Right, so I can start meme trading, which for me really is just working hard at the desk. You can actually earn points for that, believe it or not. So shortly my heart rate's going to be measured, and then it also tells you how many calories you're burning, what the vitality score is going to be. So this is the one that determines the rewards you get out of doing this activity. Okay, so just for illustration purposes, I'm going to go out of that. Let's check out some of the other activities, which means I should probably finish this activity. Let me go back to the vitality screen, start an activity. Okay, so my favorites, meme trading and walking. There's a lot of stuff, basketball, car racing, cleaning. That's actually a pretty good one. I think that's a useful one, cleaning. Cycling, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to make use of that. Dancing, well, that's pretty cool. Dog walking, golf, gaming, gym fitness, taking an ice bath, hiking, and there's martial arts as well. There's jiu-jitsu, there's kayaking, paddle, is that tennis? Showing my ignorance here. Pickleball, cool, Pilates, playing with your children, rock climbing, cool, running, sailing, skateboarding, skiing, snowboarding, soccer, surfing, swimming, table tennis, tennis itself. Okay, so paddle is not tennis. Okay. Volleyball, walking, and yoga. So there's a wealth of activities that you can do in this vitality mode, which earns you some points for the day. And then there's sleep. So this one is one that I find really useful. Now I read somewhere that just take the measurement of the sleep metrics with a grain of salt. Apparently the most on average, like these sorts of smart wearable devices, right? That includes rings, it includes smartwatches. Their statistical accuracy with getting this right is something like 50 to 60%, right? So don't take these metrics to the bank. I think it's just a good way to get an indication of how you're tracking with your sleep. Really, if you want to get a proper test of your sleep, right? If you sleep badly, and sometimes I do sleep badly, you want to go to a sleep clinic and get wired up and do a proper test. But anyway, I do like waking up in the morning and checking out what my sleep score is. Just don't take it terribly seriously. But it gives you an indication of how well you've slept. So here it gives you data about the different stages of sleep. You've got awake, you've got light sleep, and then of course you've got the very important deep sleep and REM sleep stages as well, where things like memory consolidation and the cleanup of stuff in your brain happens. Cool. So that's really cool. And the sleep metric here I think is probably it's something that I do look forward to seeing when I wake up in the morning. So for example, if I wake up and I'm feeling quite groggy, I can check out how my sleep went, and maybe that'll give me some ideas. Stress as well, that's very interesting. I don't really know how they measure stress. I imagine it will be grabbing a whole bunch of the data, including things like heart rate, and then they have some algorithms that crunch all of the data, and they can spit out this stress metric which might be accurate to a certain degree. And then there are other vitals, heart rate, so resting heart rate and current heart rate, which you can manually trigger. And then the number of steps that you've done. There's blood oxygen as well, which is quite important. So sometimes I get like 93%, it dips down to 93%. And it's things like that you want to be keeping a track of in case something is not right. Okay, so these are the various metrics, like health data, that the ring can capture. And then every day you have these different activities that you do, like doing enough vitality events to get up to 500 points. In my case, there's walking 10,000 steps, right? That gets you 100 points. And then there's wearing the ring for 10 hours, which gets you 200 points. And if you just wear the ring to sleep, and you definitely do want to do that because you get up to 200 points for tracking your sleep, right? If you just go to sleep wearing the ring, that'll pretty much get you almost to the 10 hours of wearing the ring every day. Yeah, so in summary, if you wear the ring to sleep, that's like roughly 8 hours. And then you go out for a 10,000 step walk, that's basically going to be 10 hours wearing the ring. And then you don't have to have the ring on for the rest of the day if you find the ring uncomfortable. Check in with AI coach. Yeah, so this one is a little bit like, I don't really use this like properly, I guess you can say. Like I mainly just have a quick conversation with my AI coach, 5 or 6 interactions. You'll get 150 points for free. And then finally, once a day, if you trigger a manual heart rate measurement, which is what I did just then, right? You go down to heart rate and you click on measure now. Once that's done, that's basically an easy 50 points, right? So these are the things that you do every day. And look, I appreciate these activities because they've designed this so that it really is about ensuring that you use the ring, that you're tracking your vitals, that you're sleeping well, you're active. And then you do all of these things, you earn your daily rewards, and then at the end of every mini season, you get an airdrop, which basically subsidizes the money that you paid for this ring, which I think is really cool.